Well, I know what you're probably thinking. Two-wheel, this is not your CBR 500. Yes, you would be correct. This is my new to me, Suzuki GSXR 600. It's a 2006, has a ton of miles on it. Basically, over the past winter, I was looking around at bikes, doing what I do, and I came across this, and the reason I bought it was I pretty much got a even trade-in on my CBR 500, which is very hard to find. It was about as close as I could get to an even trade-in on my CBR 500, and keep in mind that that CBR 500 was just a year old. That was from 2017. So, in this video, obviously we'll talk a little bit about my new GSXR 600, and also I'm going to make this video dedicated to talking about why I think, in my experience now, you should start on a 600cc Supersport. Maybe that's not the best way to put it, but listen, I'm just some guy on the internet, and my opinion is just that. It doesn't mean anything, so take it for what it's worth. I'm not saying actually go out and buy a 600cc Supersport. Like, that's your decision to make. I'm just giving you my opinion. So, I got this bike over the winter, in December I believe, and it's March now, and I've been riding it off and on. Obviously we've had a lot of snow around here, that's why I haven't been making videos, but I've gotten to ride this bike a little bit. I'm feeling pretty comfortable with it, and I want to kind of compare this bike to my Honda CBR 500R that I had, and compare the two bikes, because my old CBR 500 would be considered, I think, a general beginner bike. That's what a lot of people would go for their first bike. Now it's probably more like the Ninja 400, which, you know, that's cool. I actually think that the Ninja 400 at this point, for the majority of people, is going to be the better bike. But let's get back to talking about the GSXR 600. So, here's the thing that I noticed when I got this bike, right? This bike is way older than my CBR 500 was. My CBR 500 was a 2017, and this GSXR is a 2006. That means that my CBR is over 10 years newer than this bike, which is crazy because this bike doesn't feel like it's old at all, and this bike has almost 30,000 miles on it. Doesn't feel like it has. I mean, I've ridden brand new 600s, as you guys have seen in my previous videos. I've ridden R6, I've ridden a CBR 600. Really the only 600 I haven't ridden is the GSXR. That's the only 600 that I haven't really gotten to ride. So, and they just came out with a new one, which is kind of cool. I like the new 600, the new GSXR from what I've seen of it. But it also costs a lot more. Now, full disclosure of numbers and stuff, I bought my CBR 500 for like almost $8,000, and then a year later I could not get more than around $3,000 or $4,000 for a trade-in, or even if I was just trying to sell it by myself. So those beginner bikes do not really hold their value. What is going on here? Please don't kill me, thank you. As I was saying, beginner bikes like the 300s, 400s, 500s just really do not hold their value over time, especially when you go buy a brand new one. That's something that you really should consider, is you're either going to be holding on to that bike for a while. Don't expect to be getting your money back at all. You're going to lose over 50% of what you pay for that brand new bike when you turn around and try to sell it or trade it in for a new bike. And it's something to consider, how long is it going to take for you to actually want more power? For me, I'd say those like around a year. The CBR 500 was a great bike for starting off and riding for a long time, getting comfortable riding. But I really did want something with more power, which is when I started looking around at 1000s and 600s. And that's why I got the 600, the Suzuki GSXR, because I wanted more power. This is exactly what I wanted. It's an older bike, but I'm definitely getting the power that I wanted out of it, that the CBR 500 didn't have. Between like dyno numbers, obviously I don't have anything specific to tell you guys, but the CBR 500 was doing something like 40 horsepower and I don't know, 25 pound-feet of torque, something silly like that. And this GSXR 600 is doing more like, geez, a lot more than that. I want to say a little over 100 horsepower and like maybe 40 or 50 pound-feet of torque. It's a completely different bike. And here's the thing about the 600 Supersports that kind of makes it seem like, yeah, you could start on one. When you're down in the rev range, like when you're low down, you have to get really above 8,000 RPMs before anything crazy starts happening. So you can look at this, like I'm going, I can't really slow up too much right now, but here, let me slow it on down, right? I'm in 4th gear, 4,000 RPMs. Watch what happens when I just full throttle it. Not a whole lot happens. You don't even get thrown back. So that torque is pretty manageable. Once you get above 8,000 RPMs, you're going to start feeling some shit, but the torque is very manageable, and if you can keep it in those low RPMs when you're learning, admittedly, it still has a ton more power than a 500, but in those lower RPMs, the torque is not there, and you're not going to feel the power. But, here's the thing. Ergonomically speaking, it is not very good for beginners. You are not going to learn proper seating positioning or how to properly hold the handlebars or any of that stuff on a Supersport, because you're crouched over, man. For a beginner, you're going to be putting like all your weight on your front, on the handlebars. You're going to not be thinking about squeezing the tank with your legs. All that stuff is critical for a Supersport rider, and honestly, it's just not going to be fun if you don't know how to do that, because you're going to put all your weight on the handlebars and your hands are going to hurt. It's not going to be a good time. Another thing is, you're probably going to drop your first bike. Actually, I will say this, I never dropped my CBR 500. It was very upright, it was very easy to handle, low seat height. I'm a pretty short guy, I'm like 5'8", 5'9", so pretty short. I dropped this GSXR about a week ago for the first time ever. I've never dropped a bike. That was the first time I had ever dropped a bike, was just a week or so ago. And, you know, for the 2 years that I had the CBR 500 before this, I never dropped it. And then it's like, I get this bike and it's different. Ergonomics are different. It's harder to handle, especially at low speeds or standing still. So plan on dropping your bike. If you get a new bike, if you get a new 600 or a new 1000, definitely, pretty much any new Supersport, at least, man, this turn is steep. Gotta be careful because there's still salt and sand down on the road around here. But make sure that you either put crash protection on it, or for me, I didn't put crash protection on this one, and it didn't come with it because it's such an old bike. I didn't really pay a whole lot for it. Bumpy road. I'm not really concerned if I drop it. I know all the parts for this bike are easy to replace. Not that much damage is going to happen unless it was to the frame, and in that case, it's an insurance problem. I'm not dealing with that. So really, like, is it possible to start on a 600cc? I think it definitely is. I mean, even the first time that I got on the 600cc, I was expecting it to like throw me back. It was the what was it? I think it was the R6 actually. That was my first time on a 600cc. And you guys, why am I in neutral? You guys can go check out that video. There are cars coming. It's on my channel. But they're really not that difficult to handle. I think that you can definitely start off slow with them, and as long as you are careful while you're learning and don't start off going too fast, if you have that control over yourself to do that, that's fine. But it's important to remember, it is a Supersport. This is a race bike, and if you don't think that you can control yourself, you're gonna die, because in like any time you want, you can just be like, next thing you know, you go into a corner too fast, you don't know how to counter steer, and you die. So don't do that. If you don't think you have good self-control, do not get a 600. Like, seriously, step back and take a look at yourself before you end up buying any kind of Supersport. It will be much more fun, much more enjoyable, and much more safer for you to buy a beginner sport bike like a Ninja 400 or a CBR 500, if that's the case. If you step back and look at it, and you know, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing, those are good bikes. The trade-in value is going to be horrible, but they are good bikes, and they're great for beginners. But if you feel like you have the patience and you're willing to develop the skill, even though it might take a bit longer on a Supersport, then by all means, I think it's possible. It's not as uncontrollable as people act like it is. And I really am saying that as sincerely as I can be. I don't think that it's unreasonable for anyone to start on a 600cc if you have what it takes. I think it's definitely possible. That's a cop. Oh yeah, also, if you get a speeding ticket on a 600, that's not good either. Don't do that. I feel like there are a lot of advantages to just starting on a 600cc bike, because like I said, you're not going to have to deal with that trade-in bullshit. You're going to have a lot more power. I think they are actually safer on the highway, because you have more power to really get out of any situation that you may need to. Like this dude getting up on my butt right here. Like, if I want to leave him in the dust at any second, I definitely can. And I mean, the quality of the bike is higher. You're going to have higher build quality. Those smaller bikes, they kind of use their cheapest parts a lot of the time. I'll even say that goes for Honda too on my CBR 500. They definitely used some parts on that were like not their highest quality parts, I would say. So it's something to think about. Like I said, I'm just some guy on the internet. I don't even know why you're watching this video. Probably because you want to get a 600cc sport bike for your first bike. And you know what? That's cool. I think you can do it. But like I said, take a step back and look at yourself and really think about if you have patience to develop the skills of riding on a Supersport, because it's going to take longer, and if you aren't patient, you're going to end up going like 130 into a telephone pole and killing yourself. So no one wants that. It is very hard to control yourself on one of these bikes. It's pretty much, if you've ever heard the term budget Ferraris, yeah, that's exactly what this is. It's a budget Ferrari, man. It's so fast, so stupid fast. It's so cheap. This GSXR cost me like just over $4,000, and that's including everything. And you just can go out on the road, and you want to go 160 on your first day of riding, you definitely can. It's not recommended though. Alright guys, so wrap this video up. I think I've made my opinion pretty clear. I think that it is possible to start on a 600cc Supersport if you have what it takes. If you don't do it. It's stupid. They're stupid fast, but they're also stupid fun. So that's a decision you need to make for yourself. I can't make it for you, but I've given you my opinion. So go out there, figure out what you're gonna do, get a bike, whatever bike that may be, and I hope you pick out the right bike for you. As always, if you guys have any questions, leave them in the comment section down below. I will answer them to the best of my ability. I try to look at all my comments, so I should get around to it. Guys, I know that I have not been making videos for a while, but you gotta understand that I live up in the Northeast where we have stupid cold winters that are not fun to ride in, and we get snow, we get all kinds of stupid stuff going on, man. So it's not always possible for me to be making videos, but I am getting back to it. I'm gonna be continuing to make videos. Let me know what kind of videos you guys want to see. Gonna be making more tutorial videos. Definitely gonna make an actual official review video of this GSXR 600. So those of you guys who are interested in it, I think this is a great bike. I think this would be a great bike for just about anyone. Super fun, super lightweight, super nimble, tons of power, but also nice and easy, and pretty forgiving, really, especially for a Supersport. Alright guys, I'm going to enjoy the rest of my ride here. Hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to leave a like, or not. You know what, do whatever you want, I guess. I don't even know how the YouTube algorithm works anymore. I don't know if likes matter. Does any of this even matter? Is anyone even watching to this point? Leave a comment if you've watched to this point, because I feel like no one does. My analytics show me that no one, like, if you've watched the video for this long, you are part of the 1% of people who watch the video till the end, so good job, thank you. I appreciate you. Until the next video, you guys ride safe, and I will see you very soon.